This is a song by Mike Waterson, based on a story that he said he read in a whole newspaper in the 1960s. Oh, there was a woman and she lived all alone. She slaved all alone and she skivied all alone. She had 2 little boys and 2 little girls, and she lived all alone with her husband. For her husband, he was a hunk of a man and a chunk of a man and a drunk of a man. He was a hunk of a drunken skunk of a man, such a boozing, bruising husband. For he would come home drunk each night, and he'd beat her black and he'd beat her white. He'd beat her within an inch of her life, then he slept like a log did her husband. One night she gathered her fear all around her shame. She thought of the bruises, wept for the pain. She says, he'll never do that ever again. I'll not live with a drunken husband. And as he lay and snored in bed, a sudden wild thought came into her head. She's gone for the needle, run for the thread, gone into a sleeping husband. She has started to stitch with a girlish thrill and a woman's heart and a seamstress skill. She's bibmed and tucked with an iron will all around her sleeping husband. Well, the top sheet, the bottom sheet too, the blanket stitched to, the mattress through. She has stitched and stitched the whole night through. Then she's waited the dawn and her husband. When her husband woke with a pain in his head, well, he found that he could not move in bed. Sweet Christ, I've lost the use of me legs. But this wife just smiled at her husband. In her hand she held a frying pan. With a flutter in her heart she has given him a lamb. He could not move, but he said, God damn, don't you swear, she says to her husband. She has beat him black, she's beat him blue, with a frying pan and a colander too. With a rolling pin, just a stroke or two, such a battered and bleeding husband. And she says, if you come home drunk any more, well, I'll stitch you in and I'll beat you sore. Then I'll pack my bags and I'll be out the door. I'll not live with a drunken husband. Oh, isn't it strange what small can do with a thread and a thought and a stitch or two? He's cleaned his slate and his boozing's through. It's goodbye to a drunken husband.